Alright, what's good everybody? It's Spike, and I pretty much became a 3-time Gen 9 Draft League champion right after my second. Let's talk about it. This league was running fairly concurrently with the previous one. It was just a couple weeks or so behind. It was a free Terra with Terra Preview League and Terra Captain Tax. We all had 120 points to draft 9 to 11 mons, and I pretty much ran with this team the entire way after making transactions following my week 1 game. I had the first overall pick and took Mega Medicham with that pick, and it was a little tricky to build around, but I think I ultimately figured it out. There were a lot of pretty crazy mons available with the heavy Terra attacks just to keep things fairly balanced, and I was able to get my hands on Landorus Incarnate, one of my favorite mons of all time, and a mon I've been wanting to get my hands on and draft for quite a while, so you just know I was super hyped to use it alongside Medi. I finished the regular season 5-3 and in playoffs, and I just wanted to highlight those playoff games in this video, so let's just get into it. In the first round, I matched up with Ali Yu, a former champion of the league, and this would be our first meeting on the season. They had a very tricky team to deal with, and I remember in prep fearing their Terra Aegislash quite a bit, but I think I built a solid team for this matchup. Mega Medi was the first mon I loaded up, and it was absolutely essential to my success. It's just a classic Mega Medicham set with CC and double priority. I opted to drop a psychic stab move because having the fire coverage in Fire Punch to hit Aegislash would be very valuable. And CC did massive damage to the mons I would want to hit with a psychic move, like Gallade. The Psychic Stab just didn't seem as useful as the coverage for Aegislash. Next up, I slotted in a mix Spadef Alomola who would just serve as a solid pivot into pretty much anything, most notably Enamorus and Aegislash. This is just a classic Alomola set and one I've been running pretty much all season. Following Alomola, I brought my trusty Terra Colossal with Rocks and Rapid Spin. Rocks, of course, to punish Enamorus if it wasn't running boots, and Terra Fairy as a really good Terra into Mega Gallade. I spent a lot of time deciding on the ability, and I ultimately went with Flame Body to potentially punish physical attackers, or rather physical attacks from mons like Cinderace, Gallade, and Snorlax. Whimsicott came next, and now this was a mon I was very close to dropping early on in the season, but it ended up being a very important part of this run as a utility pivot that gave me very nice speed control thanks to Sprankster. I brought Moonblast and U-Turn pretty much every week, and the last 2 moves and item were pretty customizable on a matchup to matchup basis. In this game I was running Encore and Tailwind. I don't remember why I ran Encore. I think I could have gotten more value out of Knockoff, but Tailwind was there to just do what you expect it to do. Lando, the absolute MVP of the season, would come next as just a raw all-out attacker. This mon is just a very customizable mon, and I think I chose correctly with the 4 moves I brought for this game. To round out my team, I just could not come into this game without gold, and I decided that Trick Scarf would be the absolute best set for this matchup. It gave me a very powerful speed control option, and most importantly, the ability to trick and cripple set of mons like Snorlax and Dragonite. Alright, playoffs round 1, Ali Yu, and they pretty much brought just about everything that I expected. Snorlax and Aegislash are the biggest threats. Snorlax especially is very annoying because Alomola is faster than it at min speed. Or rather, even without min speed, Alomola is just faster than Snorlax, so that's going to be pretty annoying because I can't just get the slow flip turns off on it into something like Medicham, etc. So Snorlax is obviously going to be very annoying, very threatening. Aegislash is also very threatening because I don't have a singular Ghost Resist, so definitely both going to be very tough to deal with. So I believe I'm going to lead Lando here because Aegislash is a huge threat, and I want to, threaten that a little bit to start the game. So hold on, what just happened? So he immediately body slams. I get it. I was packing superpower on my Lando, but I didn't want to go for it there because I needed a little bit of chip on Snorlax before it could kill. So I just knock to try to get rid of the Snorlax's leftovers, but he goes Age Slash for some reason, and the balloon gets popped immediately. This knock is just it's a goated move. Everything just, yeah, whatever he wants to go to. If he wants to go Quag, that loses his item. Yeah, it's just a good catch-all move. So yeah, a flip turn, and now this is amazing. Hold on, let me go back to that. So this is amazing first 3 turns, because I knock the Age Slash and I chip it with flip turn. So just like that, Age Slash is heavily chipped, and that's like really good for me. I'm gonna go Lando here, immediately just put the pressure on. He's gonna go Unamorous, which is a really bold play, but I get it. I'm just gonna go Alomomola to scout what he is, and he does reveal the CM. Now if he was sub, it didn't really matter, but he does reveal CM. Moonblast does a lot, but we're good though. I go Mega Sam. Obviously he expects the Bullet Punch, or Fake Out rather. Same thing. So pretty much at this point, Medicham just beats Enamorous no matter what. But this Age Slash is a huge roadblock, so I have to get rid of it ASAP. This was Terra Preview, and Age Slash did reveal. The Terra Preview rather did reveal that Age Slash was Terra Fairy. So pretty much he's just gonna hold on to the Terra on this. His other Terra Captain was Aerodactyl, and that didn't come. So I'm pretty sure he just didn't Terra this at all, because its typing is so good into Medicham. So he's just gonna go ahead and attack my Cole. I have no Ghost Resist, so I kind of just have to take that hit with Cole, pivot into that with Cole. Terra Fairy immediately. Expecting like a CC or something, but he was toxic, so I still didn't want to risk it. So there we go, it does indeed curse. So at +1 Fizdef, CC was like an 87% chance to kill, I think, in the calc. That's what I saw. So at +1 Fizdef, I killed him. I had a pretty good chance to kill him, so I was a little scared when he clicked Protect, but obviously he's not gonna risk the huge chip. Yeah, plus with Fake Out into CC, I just kill. So yeah, he's just gonna switch out there. He does not want to risk that. I go Goldengo. He doesn't click Shadow Ball. He goes back into Snorlax, and this game, if I remember correctly, the early game was just a lot of positioning, pivoting, and now the rocks are up, so this Age Slash is just getting chipped even more. U-turn, more chip. Every single bit of chip on this thing is so important. Just gonna Shadow Ball, of course, because I don't have a single resist, and he's gonna reveal the Flash Cannon here. My Moonskot's gonna die. Yeah, so I didn't expect that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So I go Lando, because it defeats everything, and you're not gonna go Enamorous again because you do not want to risk me predicting it. And yeah, I didn't have to do that. I actually didn't have to do that, but I clicked Rock Slide there. If it missed, I would have been in a pretty bad spot, because my Lando would have probably been chipped. And then I get the Flame Body immediately. Get the Flame Body immediately on this Gallade. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. So Gallade is completely neutered. Not much it can do now. What do I do here? I just Flamethrower, and yeah, that's huge. Absolutely. I don't understand going into this, but yeah. So I go Lando very aggressively. I didn't have to do this. I almost threw the game right here. I really did not have to click Rock Slide here. Yeah. This was a very bad play by me. So I risked the miss, and my Lando is just gonna die. So it is what it is. I go Medicham here because now Medicham looks like a complete demon. I switch out because I don't want to take the chip. I didn't really have to switch out, but yeah, he is bulk up, so there is really no point staying in here. So I'm just gonna flip turn into Goldengo. Interesting. Yeah, he is burned, so knock obviously isn't gonna kill. So I can just Shadow Ball here. So yeah, this is where things get really complicated, because the Snorlax is alive and it could just pivot into Goldengo. I can't just spam Shadow Ball on everything really. So this is where things get really complicated, and this is where Snorlax's low speed comes into play. So I know he only has 2 moves to hit me with body slam and EQ, and then protect, and that like helps him poison stall. But it doesn't really matter. And Lone Mola is always like really good into this. And right now I'm just fishing for a burn, hopefully, by pivoting into. This was a very risky play. This right here was a very risky play, but I assumed he's probably not gonna hit me again because I am flame body, and then whatever he clicks doesn't kill. So I'm assuming he's gonna curse here. I do predict that and go hard medi. And yeah, so now he doesn't have the Aegis Slash, so there's really no safe switching in the CC. He protects here. Doesn't really matter. I'm CCing. I'm trying to get this out the paint. I CC the Namorous coming in, and yeah, that's a dead Namorous with rocks. He was lefties, I'm assuming. Maybe some berry. I didn't see his set after the game, but I'm assuming it was like a resist berry or lefties, probably. So yeah, this is very, very complicated. This Snorlax is just gonna keep coming in. I go Dango here, predicting the body slam. And what do I do here? Do I nasty plot? Oh, I try to trick him, but I forgot I was scarfed. I try to trick him, but he does protect here. Now this is a 50-50. He takes the trick. Oh my god! I over predict, but I'm able to knock him off, which is very, very huge. Now you can't. That's like a huge turn right there. So I'm thinking honestly the game is over here at this point. Because when you make a play like that, it's kind of like you're just giving up. You're just letting me trick you. So he does EQ here, but right here the game is super over because knocking this off is huge for me. Because now I can't just keep getting the passive recovery with lefties, obviously. So that opens up Medicham to just kill this like immediately. So I wish here, which is definitely something. I think I wish Cole, yeah, because I need Cole to win this game. So I'm doing some very, very risky stuff right now. I can't let him get +2. I make the aggressive Medicham play. This was very, very risky because if I got parried, the game was super over for me. Actually, probably not. It would just come down to like hacks. But if I got parried there or crits, that would have been very, very bad because Medicham obviously is my win con. The thing that prevents me from losing to Snorlax. But I do have Trick Gold, so it probably isn't that bad. And then what happened here? Oh, right. This was a big turn. This was actually a very, very fortunate like turn for me. Him missing this Pyro was very, very bad for him. Because it was a banded ace, as the damage is gonna show right here. So if he got that 2-hit KO, I would be forced to probably sack something off, like maybe gold or something. Yeah, probably gold. Or honestly, okay. So if that did kill, I would probably have went gold into to click Make It Rain. Honestly, basically all I'm saying is the game is much more complicated for me if he didn't miss that first Powerball. So, and then I get very, very lucky hitting both of these Rock Blasts, or getting all the hits I needed on this Rock Blast, and Cinderace is just gonna go down. And at this point, the game is just over. So these two turns were very, very fortunate. Turn 43, turn 44. The miss into the 4-hit Rock Blast, very, very big for me. Honestly, at this point, it was over. As soon as I got to it, I don't think the Rock Blast actually mattered. So, because I just have the double prio on Medicham. So yeah, the game is pretty much over at this point. And just like that, I am able to pretty much secure this one. At this point, it's just some formalities. You can't really, forfeit. So this thing is gonna get tricked, and that is pretty much gonna be the game. I just make it rain into CC, and that is pretty much the game. So unfortunately, my opponent did miss a pretty big Powerball, but I made all the needed plays, the necessary plays to win. I did do a lot of risky things in this game, but yeah, we're gonna come out with the W. This I think was probably the hardest of the 3 games, but yeah, I think this was probably the hardest because of that Aegislash Snorlax 1-2 punch. But yeah, we're gonna be moving on. In the semis, I had a rematch with my week 3 opponent who I lost to after getting caught off guard by a sneaky Iron Moss set and missing out on an Earth Power roll in the endgame. I was very hyped for this run back because I was really confident I could win with proper prep and the knowledge I got from the first meeting. The absolute first one that I loaded up was Colossal, and I spent a bit of time deciding on this set, and I opted to go Terra Steel with Air Balloon, Flash Fire, and Will-O-Wisp to completely shut down not only Iron Moth but Garchomp as well. This would be my lead at 9.9 times out of 10, and spoiler alert, you will see exactly why in this game. Next up, I slotted in a Alomola, a mon I was clearly missing in the first meeting, and it's again a variant of the set I've been running all season. Just a classical Alomola set. I opted for Wake Up Slap to force good chip on Terapagos, as well as King Gambit, who was a Terra captain for my opponent. Goldango of course came next. It hadn't sat out a single game up to this point, and it would be running a classic set that was more Spadef oriented to spin block more effectively against Terapagos. I ran Hex, which would synergize perfectly with my Scald Alomola and Will-O-Wisp Cole. And yeah, I spent a lot of time deciding on the item, but I ultimately went with Metal Coat for high damage, Make It Rains. In hindsight, Air Balloon was absolutely the play in this one, but it was a little tricky to predict my opponent's Terapagos' coverage move, which actually ended up being Earth Power. I brought the same Lando set I brought last time since it pretty much is all it needs versus my opponent's team. Sub of course lets it beat Sucker Punch, Shenanigans, and Rocks is there if I ever get an opportunity to click it freely. Whimsicott once again, the oh so important Whimsicott was here, and I ran Encore and Knockoff this time. Encore was there to annoy setup threats, and Knockoff was there to punish Iron Moth and pretty much everything else not named Mega Pidgeot on the switch-in. I ultimately went with SD Weavile over Medi to round out my team because it just has a much better matchup versus my opponent's team. Alright, game 2, playoff semis versus Terra, aka EGA Troxtricities, and they pretty much brought the same exact team as last time, except they opted to actually replace Slowbro and Mega Pidgeot with Diancie and Zarude. Zarude is understandable, but I feel like you need Slowbro in this game, but it is what it is. So let's get into this. Pretty much my goal in this game is to not lose to the King Gambit, which the Terra preview did reveal that it was Terra Dark, so that thing is obviously very threatening. So let's just get into this. Let's see how I play it. I lead Cole because my game plan, of course, is to lead my Air Balloon Cole, Terra, burn this, and then get the spikes up, and then spin block the Terapagos. Spin block, defog block, whichever one. So yeah, I do just that. I burn this immediately. If I miss, that's a little annoying, but it's okay. So he's forced to hit me here to break my balloon, but of course, because he is burned now, if he does go for another EQ, it's not gonna do anything. So I didn't have to spin here. Spinning here was a very bad play because I'm taking unnecessary chip with the rough skin, and then it did reveal that he was Rocky Helmet, so that's even more chip. And yeah, spinning was just a very, very terrible play. I think I get up a second spike. Yeah, just get up the second spike, and here what I'm trying to do is just wish past my Cole, but he opts to toxic my Alomola, so that is very, very good for me because I get the free wish off into Cole, which is very, very important for later because I need the Cole to check Iron Moth in the end game. So yeah, obviously I'm going to switch out here because I don't want to take a CC, and I go into the absolute perfect Mon Whimsicott, and I'm just able to take this out with a Moonblast. It didn't really matter if he went Iron Moth because I just U-turn on that. I believe I am running U-turn. Let me just double check. Yes, I am. Alright, so I'm just going to U-turn on this, break the Terra Shell, which is very important. Go in the Goldango to spin block, obviously. And I'm gonna nasty plot here because I make it rain. Okay, that's fair. And look how much that did at +1. The metal coat was putting in work, and I click that. I actually almost went air balloon, of course, on gold. I think air balloon would have probably been better because turns out this Terapagos was indeed earth power. If I was air balloon, I pretty much just walled it completely. But you know, that's just how prep goes. Sometimes you guess wrong, sometimes you guess right. And I'm just gonna awkward into earth power, and this is gonna let me go Lando, but I believe he predicts that. Yep. Yeah, actually Knock was actually a pretty good play. I like Knock. I believe I U-turn here. Yep. So this thing is pretty much dead because I just go Lando and pretty much take this out. Yeah. So yeah, pretty good so far. I'm playing this very, very well so far. But of course, the big boss is in, and this mon is gonna test my gangsta pretty much. This thing is just gonna test my gangsta. This is a knowledge check, a gameplay check, and yeah, he's in Terra Dark. Let's get it. So yeah, he's gonna Terra immediately. I'm gonna go Lomola because I'm very, very scared. He's gonna just gonna SD Terra Dark immediately and just destroy my Lomola with Knock. And yeah, at this point I'm thinking it's very, very bad for me. But I peep the calc, and Lando pretty much destroys this like immediately. So basically all I have to do really it's really simple. All I have to do is go Weavile, click Ice Shard, and yeah, that's pretty much all the chip I needed because Lando is absolutely a bigger boss than this guy. So I click Ice Shard, he clicks Sucker, so I get even more chip, which is very, very good. And yeah, my Weavile is just gonna die obviously, and then I just simply go Lando, reveal the sub. The important thing about this set is because or rather the important thing about this set is that in the first game I didn't reveal the sub, so they're just completely unaware of a potential sub here. So yeah, I'm just gonna get the free sub off, and that is pretty much the game. They don't try to Sucker again, which is a huge misplay because I pretty much just get another free kill. Yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna get another free kill because they opted to not Sucker again. And yeah, that's pretty much the game. This thing comes in, of course I have Cole. I'm not worried about this at all. I have Cole to deal with this. He clicks Meteor Beam again, which was the set he defeated me the first time. I actually kind of want to show the first game. Yeah, so yeah, this thing is just gonna die. Yep. And then Dancy's gonna come in. There's not much this thing can do, even if it's CM. Goldango just destroys it with Make It Rain. So I just awkward in the earth power, and I'm gonna knock off whatever. I didn't knock. Okay, so this was actually a misplay. I should have knocked in case he was like Shuka or something. But yeah, I don't think it really matters at this point. The game is over. Between Lando and Gold, this thing is dead. So yeah, I'm just gonna go Lando, finish this off, and yeah, pretty much a very just swift, like perfect execution. Swift, like I perfectly executed that, like the elimination of that King Gambit, and yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna win this one, and I am off to finals. In the finals, I matched up with yet another former champion of the league in Lucas, and this one I actually did not spend much time on prep as it was a fairly straightforward matchup. However, they did have some scary mons that I couldn't really slack on. The first order of business was making sure I had a way to keep Palafin in check, and what better way than to simply bring a FizzDef Rocky Helmet Alomomola. I actually ran Protect for the first time this season as I thought it could be very useful to scout stuff like Latios. I followed up Alomomola with Terra Water on both my Terra captains. First off was Goldango, just a classic nasty plot set with more of a Spadef focus to deal with Lottie and Torn. Then of course Cole with another classic set with Flame Body and a spicy moveset choice in Scald. Scald was cool because it pretty much was nice for the burn chance on a lot of mons that could potentially try to come in on it, like T-Tar, AV Mian Shao, and Palafin. Whimsicott would be my speed control pick with Stun Spore. And of course, I completed the moveset with Encore. Encore was just really nice to annoy setup threats in a pinch like Palafin and T-Tar. Medicham was back in the lineup in this one, and I was running the classic 2-stab plus fake out with Ice Punch to hit Lottie and Torn very, very hard on the switch. And yeah, because my opponent had a Sand Setter, I decided to try and utilize Lando to take advantage of that. So I ran a physical Sand Force set with Sub, SD, EQ, and Smackdown. I had Stone Edge initially, but I just opted for Smackdown for its overall reliability. Fun fact, I actually finished the season undefeated with this specific lineup, which just leads me to believe that yes, it was my absolute best lineup, and it could have probably been just fine in every single matchup. Probably. Alright, EGA Season 10 Grand Finals. Lucas, another former champion of the league, and he brought some very interesting things. I didn't expect Autono at all, but everything else I expected. I do understand Autono. It's a pretty good pivot into gold, but again, it's very passive. There's not much it can really do to gold. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I did see in the Terra preview that Latios was Terra Ghost, which is very interesting. Obviously I have no ghost resist. I'm not running the Dunsparce, so I just simply have no ghost resist. So when I saw that Terra Ghost, I literally shat my pants, cause I'm like, yo, if this thing specs, I lose immediately. But let's just get into it. You know, losing is not, you know, it's not an option. It's not an option, cause this is grand finals. But yeah, we here. Let's get into it. All right, so he's gonna leave Mienshao. I don't want to stay in if he's scarfed, so he clicks fake out, and that shows he is definitely not scarfed. Probably like AV or something. I'm just gonna knock very, very good into this Palafin. He goes Palafin to get the 0 to hero. The Rocky Helmet goes to work there. I flip turn because, you know, Lomola is very, very cheap, and I'm just gonna get the free momentum into Whimsicott. I believe I should have probably U-turn there, but Stun Spore is fine because that thing is very threatening, and I'm trying to just get it crippled for Medicham to defeat it later. So I'm gonna knock it. It clicks Colbur, and then when I see the Colbur, I was very, very relieved to see it. I was absolutely relieved to see the Colbur because that tells me he is probably some kind of more bulky set, and as long as he's not running Shadow Ball, I should be fine. I think he was just running Terra Ghost to, you know, deal with Medicham a lot better because, yeah, looking at the rest of his team, he has literally no answer. So this is probably some kind of bulky set, and he clicks Future Sight, and that completely confirms my suspicions. And he switches out. He is definitely not Shadow Ball. Yeah, so fortunately, my opponent did bring the wrong Latios set. If this was more of an offensive Latios, it would have been a bigger threat to my team, but it just looks like a more defensive one because, yeah, my opponent was very, very terrified of Medicham. Yeah, his team didn't really have much for Medicham. I'm not even gonna lie. It just didn't really have much in terms of dealing with Medicham. So I kind of understand it, but I don't really at the same time. I mean, you have... Yeah, it's tough. Medicham is just tough and cheap. So yeah, let's continue. So yeah, this Palfin's gonna come back in. Obviously, it's like Bandit or something. Yeah, it's just completely shut down by Alomola. Yeah, Alomola, and then the Terra Water Flame Body Coal too. Like it's disgusting work. Absolutely disgusting work by me. So yeah, this Autono is gonna come in. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, there's not much this thing can really do to gold. So I'm just gonna go gold Nasty Plot because I'm not scared at all. And make it rain. Something's dying. I don't care who it is. Something is definitely dying that turn, and it is gonna be Palafin who gets sacked off. Latios comes in to try to scare me out. I believe it scares me out. Yeah, he just scares me out. Because I think what's the word? He's like bluffing that he's a ghost move. But he's definitely not ghost move. So yeah. Nah, he should be ghost move on this. I'm pretty sure he was ghost move. I don't know. I'm not really remembering. But I go into Lando. get my sub off, and this is where things get very, very interesting. The recover, obviously, because he is a more defensive set. I smack him down, and this is going to be a free SD for me, because, yeah, he does not want to... well, I actually did an SD. Okay, that's fine. Just take the damage. Auto can't do anything to me, so I just get the SD off now. And, yeah, this Lando completely, like, smashed his team. Yeah, completely smashed his team. Because the reason I went for this set in particular is because if in prep I was like, yo, I kind of get smashed by like a Terra Steel, Terra Poison, Latios, but this is the importance of Metacham. You can't just go Terra Steel, Terra Poison, because Metacham is just gonna deal with you, you know. So I do understand the Terra Ghost, but yeah, that extra shield is gonna die. +2, of course. I don't want to die to triple axle, so I do go into Lomola here. And it does reveal the matchup does reveal that it's pads. I think it did reveal that earlier. I just probably missed it. I'm gonna go Cole Terra immediately, and no flame body, of course, which, you know, 30%. It is what it is. Get the rocks up, which is very, very huge for me. And I'm just gonna go Lando here. This auto is just setup fodder. This is why I will never use auto in my life. This thing is very, very bad. And in this turn, just a boss play. Yo, Lando, I'm so happy I got my hands on this mon. Like, this is one of my favorite mons of all time, and this league had a lot of like broken stuff allowed. So yeah, I saw this was available and I just had to take it. This is just a boss mon, and yeah, it put in work. 20 kills on the season. This is including playoff kills. Like, this thing, it just went crazy. So yeah, I predicted Mian Shao because I know you're gonna try to go into it to scare me out with triple axle, so sub is just not the play. I EQ immediately and it just destroys it with the rocks, and that is pretty much the ball game. I think here I sub because you're gonna roost. Oh, you actually future sight, so yeah, I just get a free SD now. I believe we speed tied, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure we speed tied, but yeah, SD here, I think. Yep. Yeah, this Lando just put him in a pack, and yeah, it's yeah, this was crazy. So yeah, he's definitely not Shadow Ball after building an Oversphere, which is definitely a mistake, because my team is so like Ghost Weak. But after the game, he did say that he was like scared of the Dunsparce, so that's why he went Oversphere over Shadow Ball. But yeah, my Lando is gonna go down after. Yeah, it's just gonna go down. We speed tied, which was very interesting. I'm not sure if that was a mistake on his part, but yeah. So my Lando is gonna go down. Pretty much destroyed his whole team. Or yeah, just three of these guys. And yeah, the game's pretty much over at this point. I just Moonblast this for chip, Moonblast again. And Metacham, the mon that I took first in the draft with the first pick in the whole draft, is going to end the season. And just like that, I am a 3-time Gen 9 Pokemon Draft League champion. This honestly was one of my favorite teams I've ever used in draft. This league is very, very like, it's very easy to get a very strong team in this league. Even though there is like a Terra Tax, it's very easy to get a strong team. And yeah, I'm just really, really happy with how this season played out. I'm really happy I finally got my hands on Lando. Really happy that Metacham started the season and finished the season. And yeah, just one of the best teams I've ever used. This Goldango Alomola Colossal core, this is the second time I'm winning with this core, and this is just a nasty, nasty core, but I think I'm going to have to retire it after this one. But yeah, thank you all for watching. 3-time Pokemon Draft League champion. That is me. And yeah, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. We out.